I walked into my autistic daughter's room and saw her recording a video of herself talking about her labooboo collection. She slammed her laptop shut the second she saw me. Her face went bright red. Mom, get out. She turned away from me completely. Honey, I was just, please just go. Her voice cracked. I backed out and closed the door. My chest felt tight. Willow was 15 and she'd been so sad lately. Kids at school avoided her like the plague. She ate lunch alone, came home quiet, but just now, talking to that camera, she'd looked actually happy for the first time in months. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about her smile, her excitement. So I grabbed my laptop and searched for her labooboo blog. Found it in 10 minutes. 3 videos, 0 followers, 0 comments. So I created an anonymous account right there. I thought about how if Willow found out I knew she'd be mortified, how she'd probably delete it. But then I thought about silently cheering her on and how that'd put the biggest smile on her face. So I clicked follow and left a comment. Your collection is amazing. The next morning, I was doing dishes when I heard a gasp from upstairs, then footsteps, fast pacing. Willow's door opened, then closed. I walked up quietly. Through the crack in her door, I could see her staring at her laptop screen. She kept refreshing the page. Then she hugged her laptop against her chest and smiled bigger than I'd seen in months. I backed away before she could see me. I checked her blog on my phone. She'd hearted my comment and responded, which labooboo should I talk about next? I replied, all of them. Over the next few weeks, Willow started changing. I'd pass her room and hear her genuinely laughing, talking about her laboobus. One day I saw her humming while doing homework. She hadn't hummed in forever. I watched every video. One of them, she was apologizing about her audio. Sorry if you can't hear me well. I don't have equipment. I closed the laptop and a mischievous grin formed on my face. The next morning at breakfast, I casually told her, I won my company raffle yesterday. They gave me these fancy noise-canceling headphones, but I have no use for them. You want them? I felt her literally perk up from behind me. Mom, are you serious? I turned around and smiled at her. Of course, sweetie. That night she made a new video, and her audio was crystal clear. I left a comment. Your audio sounds amazing now. A week later, I noticed she was struggling to show details in a video. I wish you could see this better. That weekend, I found a HD camera for her at a garage sale. Her next video had perfect lighting and great quality. She looked so confident. It's actually during this video she suddenly stopped talking about laboobus. For the first time ever, she got quiet and shy. Guys, this is so random, but I'm just so happy right now. And my mom, she started tearing up. My mom has been getting me all this cool stuff lately. Headphones, a camera, she made my favorite pancakes. She says these things are from raffles or garage sales, but she touched the camera. She's the best mom in the world. I love her so much. My eyes filled with tears. Willow looked down at her hands in the video. I want to tell her that, like actually tell her, but I get so anxious saying it out loud. It feels too big. She looked back at the camera. If anyone know how to say thank you when words feel impossible, please tell me. I started typing a comment, then deleted it, typed again, deleted it. I couldn't figure out what to say without giving myself away, and the fact I was bawling didn't help. Finally, I wrote, she already knows. Trust me. Soon, something amazing happened. Willow started leaving her door open when she recorded. She didn't hide her laptop when I walked by. She was getting proud of her blog. Then one night, I watched a video where she said something that made me pause it. When I hit 100 followers, I'm going to show my mom. I think I'm ready. My heart started racing. The moment was coming. 2 weeks later, Willow ran into the kitchen. Mom, I need to show you something. She opened her laptop. Her blog was on the screen. 100 followers. I've been making these videos about laboobus, and I know it's weird, but I really love doing it, and people actually watch them, and my phone buzzed on the counter, interrupting her. A notification lit up the screen. Willow's eyes went to it, then froze. The notification showed my anonymous account name. A new comment on her latest video got a like. She picked up my phone slowly, stared at the screen, then at me. This is you? Her voice was barely a whisper. I'd been caught. My blood froze. I didn't say a word. She scrolled through my phone with shaking hands, saw every comment I'd ever left, every video I'd watched, the dates going back to the very beginning. You were my first follower, she whispered. I'm sorry. The headphones, she interrupted me. The camera, you. Her voice trailed off. Without another word, she ran into my chest and lunged into me for a hug. You're my idol, Mom. I felt my eyes filling with tears as I held her. You really watched all of them? She whispered. Every single one, I said. She hugged me tighter. I love you, Mom.
I asked my twin sister why we don't celebrate on our actual birthday anymore, and she went pale, locked herself in her room, and my parents said, we need to tell you something we should have told you years ago. My parents exchanged this look I'd never seen before. Dad folded his newspaper so slowly, it was like he was trying not to make any sound. My heart started pounding. Macy's door slammed upstairs. The lock clicked. Tell me what? I asked. Dad cleared his throat 3 times before speaking. Not right now. We need some time to explain this properly. Give us a few days. A few days? For what? I looked between them, but their faces were closed off. That was Wednesday morning before school. Thursday, I tried to corner Macy at school, but she was dodging me. Every hallway, every class change, she'd see me coming and turn the other direction. I found her locker after 6th period and waited. She saw me standing there and actually turned around. Friday afternoon, I was looking for my old baseball glove in the garage when I found a newspaper tucked behind some boxes. The date was our birthday from 10 years ago. The headline was about a local girl who died in a ravine not far from our house. I took it inside and asked my parents why we had this. Dad snatched the newspaper immediately and folded it. That's not something you need to worry about. But his hands were shaking when he said it. Everyone was so suspicious I went up to Macy's room while she was at soccer practice and looked for her old diary because she babbled away in there. Most of it was about her friends and which boys she thought were cute, but pages around our 8th birthday were torn out. The entry 2 days after our birthday just said, Mom and Dad said we're never talking about this again. They said it's the only way. I can't stop seeing her face. The next page was completely covered in the words, make it go away. The words were scribbled on top of each other so many times I could barely read them. Some were so hard she'd torn through the paper. I was still holding the diary when Macy walked in. She saw what I was reading, and her whole face changed. What are you doing in my room? Macy, what happened on our 8th birthday? She grabbed the diary out of my hands. You need to stop. You don't understand what you're doing to this family. What family? The one that's been lying to me for 10 years? She got this desperate look in her eye. Please, Andy, you don't know what you're doing. But I couldn't let it go. I found more of Macy's diaries in the garage. In one from when she was 13, there was an entry that said, 5 years today. I still dream about her. I didn't mean to do it. Why won't it stop? Another one from when she was 15 said, Mom took me to another therapist. This one said, I need to forgive myself. But how can I when her parents still don't know? I walked into Macy's room and closed the door. I read all of them. She started crying immediately. Andy, please, tell me what happened. She was shaking. We were playing near this ravine. This girl from school and me. We weren't supposed to be there. She was standing near near the edge and I pushed her. I was just playing around, but she went over. I heard her hit the bottom and I ran home. You ended someone's life? My voice didn't sound like mine. Mom and Dad know? I told them that night. Dad went out there with his lawyer friend. They hid everything. Made me promise to never talk about it. She was sobbing now. I was 8 years old. I didn't mean to. Mom and Dad showed up in the doorway. You covered up a child's death? I yelled. Dad shook his head. We protected our daughter. You protected yourselves, I screamed. That girl's family spent 10 years not knowing what happened. Macy grabbed my arm. Andy, if this comes out, my whole life is over. It should have been over 10 years ago when you should have told the truth. Mom tried to step between us. I looked at all three of them. You tell that family the truth or I will. The next day, we went to their house together. Macy confessed everything while her parents and I sat there. The mother cried. The father didn't say anything for a long time. Then he asked to speak with Macy alone. They talked for an hour. When they came out, he said they'd decide what to do and let us know. Macy accepted it. 2 weeks later, they decided on restorative justice. No police. Macy had to volunteer at their daughter's memorial foundation and meet with them monthly. Macy goes every Saturday now. Mom and Dad apologized for lying to me my whole life. Macy and I barely talk anymore. When we do, it's different. She's my sister, but she ended someone's life, and I'm the one who made her face it. My fiancé told me her father wouldn't approve our marriage unless I paid him a $50,000 bride price to prove my commitment. She expected me to do it. I said, your father's traditions are important. Then I canceled the wedding and asked for the ring back. I'm 38. Michelle is 32. We'd been together 4 years, engaged for 6 months. I proposed with my grandmother's ring, a 2-carat diamond from the 1940s worth about $15,000. Her parents seemed nice at first. Her dad, Ron, owned a used car lot. Her mom was a teacher. Nothing fancy, but they acted like they had standards. We'd paid deposits on everything: venue, catering, photographer. Michelle quit her job to plan full-time because wedding planning is stressful. I was covering rent and bills. Didn't mind. We were building a life. Then Ron asked for a dinner meeting. Just him, me, and Michelle. I thought he wanted to talk about the father-daughter dance. I was very wrong. The dinner was at a steakhouse. Ron ordered the most expensive cut, then got to business. I need to talk about tradition. In many cultures, a man proves his worth before marriage by showing he can provide. I nodded, unsure where this was going. Michelle's worth something. I raised her right, paid for college, made her educated and beautiful. That has value. Michelle squeezed my hand like I was supposed to agree. I need you to pay me $50,000 before the wedding. Call it a bride price. Proof you're serious and can handle responsibility. I stared at him. Ron, we're not from a culture that does that. You're from Ohio. I'm establishing one. $50,000 cash, 2 weeks before the wedding. Michelle jumped in. Dad's right. If you really loved me, you'd prove it. I gave you a $15,000 family heirloom. That's for me. This is for my father. Ron smiled when I called it extortion. This is tradition. My daughter. My terms. The next day, her mom called saying Ron was just being protective. Her sister texted that I was being cheap over money. Over $50,000 to her father for permission to marry a grown adult woman. I called the venue about cancellation policy. Most deposits were refundable with 60 days notice, and we had 61 days. Then I called my lawyer about the ring. Grandmother's heirloom, given conditionally, legally mine if engagement ended. I texted Michelle. Wedding's off, I need the ring back. She called immediately screaming that I couldn't do this and her dad would sue me. I hung up and canceled everything. 3 hours later, Ron called, furious. You just cost me 50 grand. I didn't cost you anything, I told him. You never had that money. It only existed in your greedy fantasy. The venue is refunding deposits. The whole wedding is canceled because you tried to charge me $50,000 for your daughter. That's tradition. That's a scam. I hung up. Michelle called seconds later, sobbing. Everyone's calling me asking what happened. Tell them your father tried to sell you. You're twisting it. I'm stating it. She refused to return the ring, claiming I gave it freely. My lawyer and I showed up at her apartment the next day. Ring back or we file. She slammed the door. We filed that afternoon. Meanwhile, Michelle's cousin asked about the wedding at a family gathering. Michelle blamed me for being cheap. Her cousin texted me for my side. I sent screenshots of Ron demanding $50,000. Within days, her entire extended family knew. Her aunt confronted Ron at Sunday dinner. You tried to charge a bride price? That's shameful. Ron defended himself. It's about respecting tradition. It's about greed. No wonder your business is suffering. Word spread to Ron's used car lot. A customer left a Google review. Owner tried charging his future son-in-law $50,000. If he treats family like this, imagine how he treats customers. Stay away. His rating dropped from 4.2 stars to 2.8 stars within a week. In court, Michelle claimed the ring was a gift. The judge read my proposal text aloud. Will you marry me is clearly conditional. But I said yes, and he said no. The condition failed. Return the ring today. She returned it that afternoon, crying on my doorstep. You ruined everything. Your father ruined it when he put a price tag on you. 2 weeks later, Michelle posted on Instagram about recovering from financial abuse in a relationship. 6 people commented asking if her dad really demanded 50 grand. She deleted the post within 2 hours. Ron sent me a threatening text. You destroyed my family and my business. I forwarded it to my lawyer and blocked him. Last I heard, Ron declared bankruptcy and Michelle's living in his basement working retail. I guess $50,000 would have come in handy after all, just not the way he planned.